What do you think the culture is in our relationship?
Hello.
What culture do you think we have in our relationship right now, today?
Today, right now, or recently, or
As of lately.
lately? Definitely grinding.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's something that we really giving our focus to these days. It's been like a few years ever since we started business together, Jaywalk Media, and ever since then, I feel like there are always seasons in our lives, and in a relationship too. And then I think the season that we're in is definitely trying to figure out and building our financial system, financial goals. Mm-hmm. So we've been really focused on this journey.
Yeah.
Like lately.
I think and we're both committed to it, and I think that's because purpose. Mm-hmm. And I think that it took us a lot to build up to this point, just from like our past, from you doing music and me doing graphics and us learning all these different skills, For me, I thought they were failures a lot of the time, like me like starting and stopping all these different businesses, but learning through those processes and getting those skills and then applying them to something together. Like, like we both did things in the past that we started and stopped, and now we're kind of committed to using what skills we've learned along the way and combining them, and it's really dope. And I think this feels like it's on purpose.
Why did you think that it was failure?
I thought they were failures because my intention when I was approaching them was it would be successful if I made a return on investment. Like, I'm going to put in this money to this clothing brand and start it up, and then start it. And like, if I make money, then it's successful. If I don't,
well, how much money?
more than I invested, And yes,
some people might be like millions or billions. That considered successful versus like 10K.
Yeah, that depends on the person, but if I could take it from an idea to a profit, then that would be successful to me. But the skills I learned along the way were way more valuable than.
So it was successful.
So it was successful.
Yeah.
I had to
now that we reflect on it.
Now that I reflect, I had to go through that process and rethink and like change my perception of what I experienced.
Yeah, I felt that too, honestly. When I thought it was a failure, but like I've been reflecting on it after a while. It's been like a whole journey of like years of journey to heal that, or even like analyze like accurately. I don't think it was a failure. It's just like everything was combining, building something to where I am right now as a human, as a business owner, everything that I am.
And we've normalized this, and that's what's interesting, because like if you define culture, it's like norms, habits, and rules that you follow within a community or organization or relationship or country, and us just changing our perception about things like failed businesses, quote unquote,
or what's normal, or what's right,
or working or grinding or just pushing ourselves and pushing each other. That's the culture that we've created. So I'm proud of that.
I think a lot of people are actually afraid to get out of norms in their life and in their relationship. So they kind of, their fear of like try something that they truly want with the partner they're with. So why are you smiling?
Because I was just thinking like our culture is dope, honestly.
What do you mean? Like our culture?
Our culture.
Yeah.
I'm not even trying to be like, I'm not trying
to be
up arrogant, but I think it's dope.
Okay, yeah, it is.
We walk around the neighborhood whenever we want.
Yeah.
Like we
living freely in our own terms.
Don't get me wrong, we haven't figured out our finances. This journey is packed full of obstacles.
We gotta tell them our downside.
Yeah, but all in all, it's dope.
It is, yeah.
Because of the freedom and the amount of
freedom, time.
It's the time and the freedom. So basically,
time is the most important thing to us. That's why.
Yeah.
That's why.
Why I said it's dope is because while there's like so many people that are doing things right now that they don't want, we're like right now at this exact moment, we're doing what we planned and what we want, where we want.
Even though the account might be a little dry, but you know, I would still choose this 10 times, like every time if, you know, like rather than being in a place or a workplace that I hate.
So with that being said, like our norm doesn't follow any type of like social construct.
Some people really love stability in their finance. And I totally agree.
I mean,
I agree with that.
I'm still chasing it, honestly.
Yeah, but I'm saying like having that $4,000, $5,000, or even that monthly, like over and over again, like it creates security in their life. And I totally agree with that. I totally understand why people are stuck, or even not just going to 9-to-5 job, even though they're not fully don't want to.
Yeah, but not having it, I would say not having it turns you into a different type of person. And you can either go down, it's kind of a forked road. You can not have it and you can play the victim, or you can wake up every day and say, what can I do to solve this problem? And I feel like that's where we're at. Like, what are we gonna do?
That's why it's harder.
It's harder.
Yeah.
Because there is a sweet spot to maintain your life and, you know, like get bills paid and be responsible with money, have savings for accidents and all the things that life
or even leisure, like in entertainment.
Yeah. But we've turned it in our culture is dope. Like we've turned our work into something that allows us to travel. So
I think like, because also we focus on not end result. I think we focus on like way longer than that, like long term, our big picture about life, you know? If you're focusing on like just making that much of money with our business, it's like, it's a very short term, you know? But I think we are more holistically seeing this, where this purpose and then where this goals go.
Why do you think balance is a myth? Like why do you think people are chasing a balance, like some type of bliss point where they'll just be
What type of balance
happy?
we're talking about?
Like balance within their life.
Like, oh, you should work this.
Like I feel like people are associating balance with happiness, right? Like if I have my job set right here, then on these days I do my vacations and I spend time with my kids here and I spend time with my work friends here. I go to the gym. I want everything to be just good enough to feel like normal, really, you know? I think
it comes to a person. I feel like if that feels normal, I think it's totally normal.
Yeah.
But I personally don't think that. I'm a firm believer of like the myth of balance.
Yeah.
I think that if you really want to pursue something, you should go all in. And there's no in between. There's no gap in between. So we've been talking about off balance a lot within this artists that are successful. Like they seem a little crazy on the outside, but then that's why their music and their art and crafts are so great. Yeah. Because they're off balance, you know? They all go in, you know? But whatever it makes that person happy and then feel rewarding in their field, that's what they're pursuing. That's what their balance, you know?
That's true.
Yeah. So I don't think balance has to be normalized in any ways. Everyone has a different balance. And then like we said, our culture right now is very off balance. Honestly, you're my business partner, you're my husband.
I'm your wife.
I mean, I'm your wife.
The roles are getting blended here, guys.
We've been talking about gender roles the other video, and then we were like, you're my husband, you're my best friend, you're my teacher, you're my student, everything, right? It's like off balance for some people, because some people in their life have a different people for that, you know?
Yeah.
I have my own friends, I have my own, best friend, but it also goes to, like the questions that we get a lot these days is because friends would ask us like, how do you guys balance each other between your work partners and as a romantic partner, It's like,
the truth is we just don't.
We just don't, because we agreed to that This is a season where we're gonna go all in.
Yeah. All the way in.
And we're fine with that.
Balls deep.
The fact that we're fine with that, we both agree with that, that's what makes a culture, and then that's what makes us happy, you know?
How do you think we've handled external opinions? Within our relationship.
We don't give a fuck, honestly.
Yeah. We don't.
I feel like that's our gift, and sometimes curse might be, but all the successful that I respect, they're very stubborn in that way, and I've been stubborn in my way.
You know what? I think though, I just had a realization. I think we handle it because we actually keep our privacy within our relationship. And like, I feel like our relationship is very sacred. We're not like...
Oh, we don't talk about it
to
other people?
We don't
Are you talking about that?
Or not that we don't talk about it to other people, but we are very selective of what energies we let into it.
We're very selective.
Yeah.
And first of all, I don't have friends like that.
I got a lot of friends.
All my friends are in Korea, so it's kind of hard to talk to them, and then they don't fully understand what kind of culture in America.
Is that why you're doing this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I don't ask about your friend's relationship, you know?
Yeah.
Like,
I think you know, though, for the most part.
I do know, like, you know, over your shoulder, but I don't ask you about, like, oh, you know? Yeah. And then I think that we talked about it. Let's not talk what we're building or what we're planning to do with other people. Because we want to keep it very sacred. We want to keep it the least destructive as possible, what we're trying to build.
What I did wrong with every business in the past is...
You talked about it.
Is talking about it and looking...
You talked with other person?
Looking for validation instead of feedback. But the caveat is I don't even want enough... I'm not even in a place to get feedback until I've proved to myself consistency. Once I build the muscle of doing the thing, then... I would rather have feedback because I believe that taking action is even more important than failure because you can fail in the wrong direction, but you're still learning lessons. So,
also another thing is I would consider constructive feedback, but not judgmental or ideas that came from their leg.
Explain more.
Like, people sometimes project their fears onto you. So when you ask their opinions or advice, a lot of times actually they, in the name of love, they will give their advice, but it's like all based on their fears. So it's like, it has nothing to do with me. It's your fear, you projecting your fear onto me, and then you say, I should not try this or that. Just because your experience. And I also listen to that, but I think that the difference is I understand where they're coming from.
Yeah.
So I can kind of filter out like, okay, so this is not about me, it's more about you, this advice. And then you're telling me I shouldn't do this or that, or I should restrict this, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. And the bottom line is no one's gonna understand your true vision. That's the thing.
Couldn't agree more.
It's only... is the most sacred
why
place.
should someone even be capable of doing that? It's not theirs, you know?
I made a whole video about this. Like, it shouldn't be understood by anyone anyways. It doesn't have to be.
It doesn't have to be.
That's why it's your vision. It's not their vision, you know? Yeah.
What do you think we've done in our relationship to like cultivate our own, if you could break it down into like different pillars, you know?
I think it's a really try to understand what you want. So you have to go inward, introspective. And I can still, to this day, I still cannot say this word very accurately. Introspective.
Introspection.
Introspection. That's a must. Like, you need to go inward. If you need, block everybody else until you figure out what you want, what you truly want.
And once you do that, like, how do you pivot from there? So once you go inward and you decide, okay, this is what I want, this is my vision, this is how I want to communicate it to my partner.
Yeah.
And this is how I want it to work out. in our norms, our habits that we've created, what do you do?
I think you need to gain clarity, like by.
Can I speak on clarity?
Yeah.
I think clarity is more of removing and less doing.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All about
100%.
removal. Like it's not.
100%.
I think we. In life, this is just for me.
Yeah.
In life, when I've always wanted something, I've always tried to add more things. Oh,
Adding.
I want to do this.
That's our culture.
I need to
Modern culture.
execute these tasks.
Yeah.
But really, where the progress is made is more on the defensive side, in my opinion, is removing, or like what tasks are stopping me right now or taking too much of my time. And then I feel like that approach, what it does is it puts you more in a state of allowing rather than
You allow space.
You allow space.
You create
because
space.
you're constantly thinking of all the things that you want to attract in your mind. And then you try to XYZ all these tasks, to-do lists, and you start chasing it. And I feel like that gap, it kind of just stays because you're kind of in a mode of chasing. But if you remove some of the things that are taking up your time, then it just comes to you.
And I think like it's just modern society culture too. We always want to add something more these days, like instead of eliminating, instead of like getting rid of it, you know?
But there is a time when you want to add stuff, right?
There is.
Yeah.
If you get rid of it, there's a lot of space for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, but the first things first, you have to clean up your room first and then add your furniture. It's like not the other way around, you know? You don't add furniture to clean up your room.
Yeah, you start bringing stuff in and
Yeah.
just make a bigger mess.
Yeah, it's just simple as that. It's like your mind too.
Yeah.
Yeah. And your focus too, your vision.
So I think next is like, yeah, that once you've reached clarity or once you have that process of removal, then it's time to focus on maybe like some of the tactics and tools.
Tools, definitely incorporating with tools.
Yeah.
That's gonna help you achieve that, you know?
What's your favorite tool?
My favorite tool is always wellness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's hard to, I think the root of happiness lies in wellness.
I have
Your
to take care of
well-being.
this first before I do anything else.
Yeah.
This is first, foremost.
I think it's for me, it's like purpose.
I agree with that because I feel like I can see that for men.
Yeah.
It's like purpose driven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is my purpose?
Are you asking me?
No.
Your purpose?
I know my purpose. That's for a whole other video though.
I know. Like, we can go like hours and hours into that.
Also, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
You go ahead.
No, you go.
No.
Yeah, you.
I think that also, if you do that, if you obtain your tools and the ways that you can build your culture, and then now it's time to allow. Now it's time to allow abundance. I think abundance,
Yeah, we kind of talked about that.
Yeah.
Being in that state of allowing.
receiving abundance in life, because like life is always there for you.
Yeah.
Life is like always ready for you to thrive.
You know, receiving is a skill.
It's
though.
only us like blocking the abundance.
Receiving is a skill because sometimes
it is very much.
sometimes your blessings don't come in just
yeah.
clear, plain form.
Yeah, and
They're
for
like-
example, like I've seen this, like a lot of people that, I don't deserve this.
Yeah.
I don't deserve to like receive this.
Yeah.
No, you are. Like you should allow it. You should allow.
Embrace it.
And sometimes you feel guilty of receiving.
Why is that?
I
Lack
don't
of
know.
self-worth. It goes back.
Yeah, self-worth,
It
I
goes
think.
back to the top of these pillars that we're talking about.
Self-worth.
The awareness.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I think that's
Damn.
really comes down to insecurities. Like, I don't deserve to have this, you know?
Yeah.
But, and also some of the culture that in Asian culture, we are always we're always like told to be very humble, modest, right? That's very like strong, like how do I say, mindset or the culture that we have. So we always like, we turn down their favorite, like their whatever, like awards or something. Like, I'm good. I don't want to receive this. I don't want to receive this blessings.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
In the name of being modest. But I think that's kind of like, I don't know. I don't know why it's that. I think it's just culture.
I think it's definitely culture.
Yeah. And then if you act like, oh, I deserve this, or I want this actively, then we judge people as arrogant.
Yeah.
Arrogant person.
But that's the norms that they want to live by. That's their values.
Yeah. I'm specifically talking about Asian culture that I grew up in. Korean culture. Like, you're arrogant. Like, you're very, you know how many times my dad told me that?
Really?
Yeah. It's like, I mean, he didn't say you're arrogant, but he said, like, be always humble, modest. Okay, which I agree. But then when I won competition in like music and stuff, like, okay, I'm good. I'm confident with my skills. But he always like, don't be too arrogant. Because, you know.
Yeah. How has that worked against you?
It didn't work on me. That's why I came here.
No, how has arrogance worked against you in your journey?
How arrogant? What? I don't know.
Being arrogant, how has that, like, what negative effects has that had on your journey?
Oh, it actually influenced something. It affected in my journey sometimes.
Like what?
Like I did. Like there's remember the singing competition? Chinese singing competition? Like
I was thinking of that. I was thinking of that when I asked the question.
Give them the background.
So Jada entered this. This is like back in like 2018 maybe, when we were pursuing music, and Jada entered the singing competition in Vegas with the cash prize. So she didn't really practice.
Which I was offered in the first place. I didn't want to do that, but
yeah, they reached out to her.
They
reached out to her based on social media because she had Symphony Flip and Dings going. Pretty active at music at that time.
Yeah.
So people reach out to you and they hit you up, and she totally thought she was going to win this competition. And I thought she was going to win this competition. I was like, hell yeah, babe. You got this shit. Like, they can't sing like you. And yeah, she went there. We barely made the audition. And nonetheless, I
went in the first, but then the final,
She went to the finals, but nonetheless, she lost by a lot. And
you know why I didn't win? I didn't care about that. I didn't put effort on it. I didn't make time for that. Yeah. I just thought that, I'm going to easily.
And I honestly feel like ever since then, you've been different. You've been
really?
You've been more humble.
Yeah.
Maybe because I can remind you of something.
I mean, I try to be humble all the time, like as much as I can. But sometimes, like I guess I can be a little arrogant.
That bitch.
No, my dad was right. Yeah.
I mean, you are very talented though. So I get it. Like, I'm very talented too.
Yeah, so I think there's a like line, the borderline that you also have to reflect on yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what I've learned though throughout my entrepreneurial journey is I'm talented, but not nearly as much as I thought I was. Like,
in what sense?
Just because I feel like
in graphics or your creative skills?
Yeah, like I have skills, but there's different parts of talent, like execution. Like, you might have a lot of ideas, but can you execute? Can you take the idea and turn it into something that someone else can see? Can you put it out? Can you press publish? Because what good is an idea if it's just stuck in your head or even on your laptop? You know? So that made me think like, I'm not as talented as I thought I am, because I don't even have I still have like an insecurity of putting things out. Like, think about it. I
think that's all creative, so in general.
I've spent thousands on music videos and songs and features that never even came out.
Yeah.
Why? You know,
I think we're all guilty on that, some part of that, if you're creative.
Yeah. I mean, but what do you want to improve as far as culture in our relationship?
Our sexual culture. Intimacy. That's something that we've been working on these days, because just we're now at like 9 years in now. So we've been together quite a while. And I think we're in a different season in intimacy, that we're always like, we met in like mid-20s, which is like, we're like very energetic, you know? We have like a lot of sexual energy. And our bodies biologically changed, and our relationship evolved. We're more comfortable with each other. This is a culture that I want to eliminate. I want to say this.
Say it.
I think there's some culture we have to get rid of in our relationship.
Like what?
Like being too comfortable with each other.
Like, give me a firm example.
So like, okay, farting's fine. Yeah, that's
We all do
fine.
it.
Or burping, yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine, but there's a time that you literally force that farting on my face. Like you literally.
I know you've done it too.
You literally like hold my hands on the bed and then like.
I did use my strength to forcefully do it.
I'm very tiny little Asian woman, so you definitely.
And you stuck with me. That was
manipulate me in that.
That was a pivotal moment. I was like, oh, she's the one. Like.
That I was okay.
She can handle my bullying.
I mean, that's kind of funny to me. So, okay, that's fine.
I've gotten a lot better with being a bully though, right?
Yeah, because I've been reminding you.
Like with the serious voice.
Yeah.
Like, hey, you can't put your strength on me.
Because you wouldn't listen. I mean, in the beginning, I actually told you it seriously, but you didn't take it seriously.
Yeah.
Just because you're okay with that, the other person will be okay.
Yeah, I try to put myself in your shoes.
Also, it's all my fault because I was laughing to tell you that, I was still laughing and hey, because it's funny.
You're
but
trying
at
to
the
keep
same
it
time,
in a joking manner, but yeah.
But no, it's funny.
Yeah.
But sometimes I don't like it. Yeah. So, and then you're trying to also like show me your dookie.
I've taken incredible dumps, honestly, and someone needs to just see them.
To be honest with you, that was pretty incredible shape.
That was some incredible shit.
I don't know how the shape got like this. It's honestly, I don't know if it's a TMI for someone, but it's like complete J shape, which is our initial.
TMI, but hey, let me ask you this.
So like, I was like, I'm also a very curious person. That's the nature of me.
Mm-hmm.
So even though it's kind of gross, I have to see it when you show me.
Mm-hmm.
So like.
I just wanted you to make sure there was nothing going on with my health because.
No, that wasn't nothing about health. That was more like you were also shocked at how perfect Jay was.
And size.
And
but
the
anyway,
size.
So showing each other, okay, I understand how it could be too much, but like we're super open, whatever. What's the difference between that and like picking up Tito's poop? Because mine, I'm not asking you to pick it up and throw it away. I'm just asking you to look at it. You don't even smell it. Like you even hold your nose like that.
Well, first of all, you're not cute like that. And you're not small.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And then...
and I can get rid of it myself.
Yeah. And Tito is something like, Tito's a dog, he doesn't know his health. I want to see his poop and analyze his health condition. But you're your own grown man.
What a culture we have. What a culture.
I don't know. I jokingly said to you, like, some women will divorce you for that.
If she can't handle that,
can't
handle that, she's just not the one.
Probably. That's why we're together. Probably, yeah. So that's our frequency,
Yeah.
This is exactly reason why your culture, you have to cultivate your own unique culture with your partner, because it might seem weird by some other people.
I have to sneeze.
Oh. But it's totally okay with your partner. It might be totally okay with your relationship.
You just have to own it. Whatever rules, whatever habits, whatever norms that you guys agree to together, own it. If you guys want to be like...
If it feels weird and off, it might be ideal match. It might not,
Yeah.
So you have to find someone who matches your frequency, who matches your that gross level.
I mean, you've changed my culture though a lot too.
In what way?
Like...
being direct?
That, even though you think I'm probably still bad, I'm much better at like putting things back than I used to be.
Yeah.
And just like my organization, because I understand like this is not just affecting me.
For working on that.
Like putting away my 100 pairs of shoes, just being more mindful. I think being mindful in general is the part of the like, okay, let me actually think about you or someone other than myself when
Because we share space.
when I'm doing things.
Yeah.
It's not just my house, not just my room.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to talk about like mindfulness when you in your relationship.
Yeah.
That's the foundation of all culture we should always strive for in your relationship. Mindfulness. Yeah. Yeah. Is that? Let's grind.